with RiverWoods. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kelly Fires, and I'm one of the senior living counselors here with RiverWoods. And we thank you for joining our presentation this afternoon, Facing Dementia Together, brought to you by RiverWoods and the Dementia Hub. So glad you could join us. And before we begin, I just want to go over a couple of housekeeping slides here. So just to let people know who have never joined us before, you are on mute, but we do welcome your questions. And you would submit all your questions through the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. So you can plug in questions throughout the presentation, and we will answer your questions at the end. And again, we always are open to your suggestions of how we can improve these presentations. And we love if you have a future topic that you'd like us to present or something you're interested in. So please share that with us as well. And I just wanted to share how RiverWoods began. RiverWoods was founded by these two lovely ladies, very smart and tenacious, Rosemary Coffin and Mariana Hatch. They partnered with a small group of local citizens to work on a brand new concept on how to age in the community. Their dream was really to create a vibrant community that would provide support and healthcare if and when needed. And their dream was realized with the opening of our first campus in Exeter, RiverWoods Exeter, in 1994, and we just celebrated our 30th anniversary last year, which is very exciting. And RiverWoods today, we have grown into the largest family of not-for-profit continuing care retirement communities in northern New England. And we have 3 campuses at Exeter, the Woods, the Ridge, and the Boulders. And RiverWoods Manchester was our first acquired community in 2016. And then RiverWoods Durham is our newest community, which opened November of 2019. RiverWoods Durham is also excited to share that we are embarking on an expansion project to add 55 new independent living apartment homes. We do anticipate those to be completed in the December of 2027. And all of our communities have the same shared values, practices, and we're all governed within the same family of communities under the RiverWoods Group. And today, we are going to be learning more about dementia and learning more about the Seacoast Dementia Hub, and also looking at memory support at a community level and just different options for care of those people living and caring with those with dementia. And today I would like to introduce our panelists, panel of experts here. We have Ashley Synan, who's the Seacoast Dementia Hub Director. She brings more than 2 decades of healthcare experience to the Seacoast Dementia Hub. Ashley graduated from Riviera University with a master's in counseling psychology. And most recently, she also earned her certificate dementia practitioner certification. Throughout her career, Ashley has been called to roles focused on finding person-centered solutions and fostering meaningful connections. And she's worked in a wide range of positions, including a licensed nursing assistant, mental health therapist, and hospice consultant. And as a leader of the Seacoast Dementia Hub, she offers a unique blend of clinical insight and heartfelt empathy for all that she serves. And we also have Linda Bresnahan, our Community Life Engagement Manager at RiverWoods Durham. And she spent most of her career working alongside individuals with dementia and their families. And before joining RiverWoods, she served as the Executive Director at a local memory care community in the Seacoast. And Linda recently completed her certified Alzheimer's disease and dementia care trainer course, as well as an advanced training in the TIPA Snow. So she is also a leading dementia educator. Outside of RiverWoods, Linda is deeply involved in the Alzheimer's Association through education, advocacy, support groups, and fundraising, including running the annual York, Maine Walk to End Alzheimer's. Thank you for joining us today, ladies. And we'll start with you, Ashley. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda, we're starting with you.
Actually, I think that's me.
Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Let's talk a little bit about what is dementia. Dementia is not a diagnosis. Dementia is actually a symptom of memory impairment, cognitive decline, and behaviors. And this includes more than 100 different types of dementias types. And you see most of them listed here: vascular dementia, mixed dementia, Parkinson's disease, dementia with Lewy bodies, and Huntington's. The number one leading type of dementia is Alzheimer's. How common is dementia? Right now, it's a global health crisis. Worldwide, there are more than 50 individuals living with dementia, and that's all different forms of dementia. Who can be affected? Actually, the number one risk factor for getting dementia is age, in addition to genetics and health history. So anyone over 65 has a higher risk of getting dementia. Usually, people over 65, men and women, are subject to dementia, but women are actually more common to get the disease. Alzheimer's does have a younger onset trend right now, actually, which is increasing for people 50 and older. How are we treating dementia? Unfortunately, at this time, there is no cure for dementia. It's a progressive brain disease that gets worse over time. It can last a number of years, and everybody's journey is different for how long this lasts. There are currently no cures, but there are new treatments in research and testing coming every single day. So what are the early signs to look for? Everyone always asks, what's typical aging? What is dementia? Looking for memory changes, forgetting things like your keys, where you put them, and conversations. And I know we all forget our keys, right? We all forget where we put our keys, but if you never remember where you put them on a regular basis, that's different than if you forgot where they were today and remembered this afternoon. Misplacing objects on a regular basis, repeating the same questions to your loved ones, where are you going? Or when are you doing that? Several times in the same day or week. These are all signs of early onset dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Some of the challenges for early warning signs are, that we have are getting lost in familiar places. Many times we've driven the same place over and over again, right? We know how to get there. Sometimes we might have a small blip. I'm like, gosh, I take a right or left. But if you've forgotten how to get home and you've driven this way many, many times, that could be a warning sign. Confusion with time and place, not remembering the day on a regular basis. What day is it? Or not remembering the time. Is it dinner time? Is it breakfast? Did I have breakfast? Did I eat my lunch? And doing daily tasks becomes slightly more difficult. And that's daily tasks of activities of daily living, like getting dressed and brushing your teeth. These could all be signs of something more serious than normal aging. Behavior changes can also happen. There can be confusion about dates. Personality changes, and that can be related to people being less social because they don't want people to see what's happening, right? They don't want people to notice that maybe we're forgetting a little bit more, or maybe we don't remember when they're talking to us, or we can't help hold the conversation. So all those things can happen in early stages.
Thank you, Linda. My name is Ashley Seinen, and I'm going to be talking with you about caregiving and the Seacoast Dementia Hub. Caregiving comes with such a variety of juggling so many things throughout the course of a day that really it can have such a significant emotional impact. Comes with a lot of complex feelings of guilt, fear, shame, isolation. This can really kilter over and manifest in physical ailments, chronic fatigue, spiked cortisol levels, poor sleep, and really just overall exhaustion. Separately from that, we're talking about financial strain. So really looking at various out-of-pocket expenses like medications, in-home care and supports, home modifications, safety equipment, really a lot of moving pieces with caregiving. Next slide, please. Seacoast Dementia Hub. So this is a wonderful new initiative where a group of local caregivers had gotten together back in 2021. This primarily came from two of our wonderful founders whose wives were diagnosed with Lewy bodies dementia. And just through the course of initial diagnosis, they really walked a difficult and often confusing road in just supporting their loved ones and really knew what it felt like to search for answers, juggle managing, looking for different services, what was right at the right time, and just felt really isolated in the process. Through their shared experience, they had a vision where the Seacoast Dementia was formed, a place where caregivers can find guidance, local resources, emotional support, and really just make sure caregivers aren't navigating this alone. The mission is pretty simple. It's to be a trusted guide, really connecting you to resources, education on the trajectory of the disease, and support really tailored to each caregiver's unique needs, whether just beginning with an initial diagnosis or whether you've been on the journey for years. The goal is really to help you feel less alone and a lot more empowered. Next slide, please. Our vision and values. So this program is designed specifically for caregivers. Every day can really bring so many new questions and can look very different. The Seacoast Dementia Hub is a cost-free community-based program really designed to help caregivers and their loved ones navigate all the challenges that come with diagnosis, care, and daily life. We really believe that when caregivers are supported, loved ones do receive better care, whether it's a quick answer, some guidance, or long-term planning. Really here to help just be a safe harbor. Next slide, please. So affiliation and support for the Seacoast Dementia Hub. This is a pilot, and it's made possible through the generous support of Granite United Way, the Seacoast Women's Giving Circle, the Foundation for Seacoast Health, and in-kind support from the RiverWoods group. The hub is hosted by RiverWoods through a dedicated grant that really aligns with our mission to provide meaningful services for older adults and their families in the greater Seacoast region. Through operating under the RiverWoods umbrella, the hub really benefits from being able to connect with RiverWoods' experienced leadership, really build upon community partnerships that have already been established and continue to watch those transform. And also to just a really beautiful mission-driven approach, being able to provide meaningful services to older adults and their families in the greater Seacoast region. Thank you. Next slide. And how we help. So personalized guidance. So in a general inquiry, what happens is I set up some time to speak one-on-one with you and really just talk about your unique situation. Really just kind of go into a comprehensive dive of various components and really look at some next steps. From there, it's really about resource navigation. So really connecting you and tailoring supports locally and nationally based upon your specific need and what's been identified in that process, whether it be support groups to in-home care, respite programs, financial planning, legal documents, whatever the need is. It's really a comprehensive overview of just connecting to what's needed. Also education and workshops. So really just learning about dementia, caregiving strategies, behavioral management, as well as community services through classes, presentations, and events. Ongoing support is also a component where really with navigating all the challenges, one day can look so different from, a few weeks from now or a few months from now. So really here to help adapt you to whatever comes up as far as the needs changing. And how the Seacoast Dementia Hub works. So caregivers can reach out directly on the website. Right on there, there's a personalized intake process where you just provide your name, email address, and there's an opportunity for just a little blurb to speak to maybe what you're needing or feeling or experiencing or hope to get from the Seacoast Dementia Hub. And From there, I will reach out to you directly. And finally, ways to get involved. So any caregiver, um, you know, in conversation, that anyone feels would benefit from just being able to connect to talk about their scenario and see if there's any supports that are out there, or just for uh, a shoulder to someone to hear and just provide that guidance. Please feel free to send anyone to the Seacoast Dementia Hub. Volunteering. So the next phase of the program, I'm currently working on building the volunteer program. So really identifying some gaps and needs in the community. And what I'm seeing is there's a lot of need for that connection, for some mentor support. So volunteering is also a way to get involved, and you can absolutely reach out directly to me if you have any interest in that. And finally, the education component. With the depth of isolation that a lot of caregivers experience, and the complexities of those emotions, really just empowering yourself to educate others going through the same experience and speaking to that, or things that have been helpful. Really important to share your story. Thank you.
Kelly, you're on mute.
Oh,
There-
sorry. And again, I just wanted to now talk about when resources aren't enough. The Seacoast Dementia Hub, offering, different resources for people, and sometimes those resources, or that gets more challenging at home for people. So home care and community programs, help families extend their independence. Dementia is a progressive disease and needs to grow over time. So families may reach a point where the safety, medical needs, or caregiver burnout really make that in-home care unsustainable. So, oftentimes we see that where people are calling us for support here at RiverWoods as well. So we do have specialized memory support neighborhoods. And again, that can provide the right level of care, dignity, and connection for loved ones. And of course, benefits of a memory care program in a community is a specialized environment, really talking about, each person's individual needs. As Ashley mentioned, every person is very different with their individual needs. Purpose-built design that supports their safety, comfort, and familiarity. Also a place that has the 24-hour 7-day-a-week care available, specifically trained staff with dementia and memory support training as well, and able to communicate with those people living with dementia, and meaningful engagement. Daily programs tailored to their specific abilities, interests, and most important, fostering joy and purpose. We all want our loved ones to be as happy as they can be, and community connection. Residents do benefit from shared experiences and consistent social interaction, and then peace of mind for families that they're and confidence that their loved ones are supported, respected, and living with dignity. And now Linda will talk about some of the memory support programs that we have at RiverWoods Durham.
So what's different about RiverWoods? I know that families, when it comes time to pick a community, this is a difficult decision. This is can be very hard on a family. And people are wondering, what can you offer my loved one? What is there? How are they going to be comfortable? Can I feel comfortable leaving them there? So right now, RiverWoods, we have an innovative household model with private apartments. So what does that mean, innovative household model? It means it's designed for the safety and comfort of your loved one. Many times at home, you have to make many changes through the progression of disease at home to change the household to fit the safety and the needs of the resident. And that's all built in right here. So they can feel safe going right from their bedroom to the dining room to a very cozy living room. And it's welcoming, and there's a feeling of home. The staff and other residents provide socialization for the residents all the time, even when the loved one can't be here. Person-centered care. What does person-centered care mean? That means that we're going to find out what's important to your loved one, the interests, the hobbies, the needs, what's important to them, and we're going to base their care around that. So that means if they want to take a shower in the morning because they've done that all their life, we're going to do that. If that means that they love to read the newspaper every day, even though they still can't read, we're going to get them the newspaper. Or if they like horses, we're going to gear activities and engagement maybe around horses. There's lots of opportunities for engagement when you have a trained team that provides programming based on resident needs and the census of the current population. We have a monthly family support group and education for families so they can talk with each other, talk with myself actually, and we have social workers and just share what you're going through, what's happening, and how do we deal with this right now. This can be a little overwhelming. State-of-the-art technology at RiverWoods. We are lucky enough to have a mobile overhead projection center. We have It's Never Too Late computerized mobile program, as well as our robotic seals. And what does that do for residents? What does that mean? That means that we can provide extra individualized engagement for people. So if the resident isn't interested in the presentation that's happening right now, that a lot of people are interested in gardening, we can provide an individualized activity on It's Never Too Late, which you see up in the corner there with the puzzle looking thing. Something that they may like to do. Maybe they want to do a crossword on the computer with a touch screen. If they're a little bit anxious and they just want to relax, then they can pet our robotic seals. In addition to that, we have ongoing staff education. And a lot of people say we have education and we, in addition to our, required state mandated education that everyone has on Relias, we have monthly training programs in all departments. That's not just, dining and housekeeping, and specialized training for our caregivers for how, approaching people with dementia and just being there to help them get through the day, right? In addition to that, we're currently working on our memory care excellence certification, which will require us to have a more than 50% of our clinical staff trained in certified dementia care practitioners. That's from the National Council of Dementia Care Practitioners. So there's a lot here that we offer at RiverWoods, and it takes a family, it takes a group of people and everybody to be there for your loved one so that you can become the loved one and not the full-time caregiver.
And here at RiverWoods, again, people are mainly familiar with RiverWoods, that people come in at an independent level and have access to healthcare if and when they need it. But we also do offer the opportunity for people to come from the outside of the community directly into our healthcare. So we do have availability for people to come directly to our memory support. Again, for people that maybe can't wait to move in with some of our longer wait times for independent living, and certainly there's no entrance fee, monthly service fee as well. So, and again, for individuals who are seeking peace of mind and support right away, and if things are really not feasible within the home situation any longer. And together we do make life better. So RiverWoods and the Seacoast Dementia Hub, we are uniting our expertise, compassion, community resources to really support families both before and when a move becomes the next step. So we're really excited to work with Seacoast Dementia Hub and have this resource for people who really need that in the community at this time. And we're going to answer questions momentarily here. So if you did have a question. Please, like I said, please ask any questions that you may have. I'm sorry, I was having a little difficulty there, sorry.
Can you, Kelly, can you see the questions?
Is the Seacoast available only, or the Seacoast Dementia Hub available only in New Hampshire?
Currently, the Seacoast Dementia Hub, all of the vetted resources that I have connected with is specifically focused on Stafford and Rockingham County. However, I have had various people reach out who have had loved ones in Florida or various parts of New England, just asking for some guidance on what next steps should be looking at, just kind of like a dementia roadmap or a comprehensive idea of what to expect. So I'm open to helping support anyone who is in need, but all the resources as far as local supports, it is focused on Stafford and Rockingham County as of now.
Okay, and are there ways to slow down the progression of dementia?
You want me to answer that?
Mm.
So right now, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse, but there are new treatments and medications coming out, and it depends really on the stage of the disease. And a doctor would prescribe that if they believe it would be helpful. So, and there are, if you look on the Alzheimer's Association, it does list all the new treatments and medications coming out.
Okay, thank you. There's a question here. If you're a couple and only one has dementia, do both go to memory care or just one? All our rooms here are private at RiverWoods Durham, so we could only support one person. And typically that person would have a dementia diagnosis as well. But we also have assisted living. So we have many couples who are in situations where one lives in assisted living, one lives in memory support, or one lives in independent and one lives in memory support, but we're within the community. So resident couples and partners can spend as much time with one another as well. There's another question here. Where do you get tested? I think.
So there are various neurologists that can do testing. There's also a few different clinics. So there's one at UNH where it's just a matter of a referral to just kind of get the process started, and they are able to diagnose and provide all that testing there. There's also another I'm trying to recall them off of the top of my head right now, but there are two options that are able to take people currently, where a lot of neurologists do have about a 6 to 9 month wait list in the moment.
And someone just asked a question, what about memory care, your Exeter facility? Your slide only spoke about Durham. Currently at RiverWoods Exeter, we don't have a specialized memory support program. We certainly can support those with dementia or Alzheimer's. But here in Durham, we have a specific memory care program. And then the other question, which is difficult, is how much does it cost to care for someone who has dementia? And I think that certainly varies from community to community, and certainly depending on the resources that someone has as well. And then there's another comment here. Many go to generations in the Manchester area. I know here at both RiverWoods Durham and RiverWoods Exeter, we do also partner with Generations. So I don't know if Linda, you've had experience, I'm sure, with Generations as well, supporting our residents here.
Mm-hmm. If that's in about testing or about supporting, Generation supports the residents, yes, here for mental health.
Yes.
And they do some testing, but I don't know. I don't know that they would do the extent of testing that some people might be looking for.
Okay. I don't see any other questions, but people, just a few moments, if there's any other questions. We want to thank you for joining us today, and I hope this was really helpful, educational for those that joined us today. We have a couple of events coming up here as well. So we do have a RiverWoods Durham 101 information session coming up in November 6th. So you can certainly register if that's something you're interested in. We also have the financial risks and rewards of choosing a life care community coming up Thursday, November 20th. And the other thing to save the date is what to know about healthcare at RiverWoods Durham. This will be an in-person panel and luncheon with our healthcare experts here. So again, if you'd like to join that, please call our marketing coordinator, Rebecca, the number below here. And ladies, I wanted to thank you, Linda and Ashley, for joining us today. So very informative, and certainly reach out to us if you have additional questions. And
I
thank
think
you
there's
again.
a couple more questions in the box, Kelly. What kind of care
Yes,
do you provide?
RiverWoods Durham, someone asked, does RiverWoods Durham currently have memory support availability? And yes, we do at this time. We have availability. And it says, what kind of care do you provide for those who live in Exeter? In Exeter, we do offer assisted living, and we have nursing care. So we can support those with dementia and Alzheimer's either in assisted living or our nursing care, which is our enhanced assisted living. Well, thank you everyone for your questions, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
You too.